Imagine, you lose everything. No home, no family, no future. That was Viktor Frankl's reality in the Nazi concentration camp. Yet amid the cold and despair, he also realized one profound truth. Those who survived were not the strongest, but the ones who found meaning in suffering. For one person, it was the belief that he would see his wife again. For another, the desire to finish an unfinished book. And for Frankl, it was the faith that life, even when crushed, could still give birth to purpose. He wrote, "We cannot choose our suffering, but we can choose our attitude toward it." And when pain has meaning, it is no longer a prison, but becomes the flame of transformation. And that is what I want to share with you today. How to find meaning in adversity. Every person born into this world has something that makes their life feel meaningful. Your task is to find it. When you find your thing, the thing that makes you happy just thinking about it, you will have faith, motivation, and strength. No difficulty can defeat you. You feel life is meaningless sometimes only because you haven't yet found what you truly belong to. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to walk with you again through the streets of New York, where the light glows on hurried faces and every step feels like a rhythm of thought. Today, as we walk through the wind and the nature of Central Park, I want to talk about something very familiar: pain. Not as tragedy, but as a silent teacher. The book I want to share is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He wrote it in a Nazi concentration camp, the darkest place in human history. And strangely, it is not a book of despair. It is a book about the power of meaning, the force that helps people stand tall even when everything is taken away. Background. Viktor E. Frankl was an Austrian psychiatrist of Jewish descent. During World War II, he was arrested and sent to Nazi concentration camps, where his wife, parents, and most of his loved ones were murdered. From his survival in that hell, he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, a work that is part memoir, part philosophy, and part psychology of healing. Frankl didn't just recount what he saw. More importantly, he tried to explain why some people, under the same horrific conditions, could survive, keep their dignity and faith, while others gave up and fell into despair. Life in the concentration camp. Frankl described camp life with a calm yet chilling tone. No drama, no tears, only the cold truth. Prisoners were stripped of everything: clothes, names, hair, and finally, humanity itself. Every morning, they stood in the freezing snow, starving, beaten, and cursed for no reason. Death was always close, in the gas chambers, in the guns, or simply in the exhaustion of walking. But amid that hell, Frankl noticed something extraordinary. Even when everything is taken from a person, there remains one last freedom: the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. In other words, even if you cannot control the world, you can always control yourself. Logotherapy, the therapy of meaning. After surviving, Frankl developed a new school of psychology, logotherapy, from logos meaning meaning. If Freud said man lives for pleasure, and Adler said man lives for power, Frankl declared, the deepest human drive is the search for meaning. Humans can endure any suffering if they know why, but when meaning is lost, they collapse, even in safety. He outlined 3 paths through which we can find meaning. Number 1, through work or creation, when we create something of value. For example, an artist creating, a doctor saving a life. Number 2, through love, when we devote ourselves to another person. Frankl wrote that love is the only way to grasp the innermost core of another human being. Number 3, through suffering. When we cannot change our circumstances, but we can change how we face them. It is within suffering that we often find the deepest growth. Frankl did not glorify pain, but he showed that if we cannot avoid it, we can transform it. Frankl drew one powerful philosophy, the foundation of the entire book. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. In other words, even if you cannot control the world, you can always control yourself. Value and influence. Man's search for meaning is not just a psychological work, it is a manifesto of human dignity. Frankl proved that even in hell, a person can still preserve their humanity through meaning, love, and faith in life. The book became a global inspiration, translated into more than 50 languages, selling tens of millions of copies. It is regarded as the small book that changed the world. People read it not for theory, but to find that faint light during days when they thought they couldn't go on. We may not be locked in concentration camps, but each of us is fighting in our own invisible prison. A draining job, a dream that refuses to come true, or losses that have no name. And in those moments, we often ask, why me? But Frankl reminds us to ask, instead, what is this trying to teach me? Pain doesn't have to disappear. It just needs to be given meaning. Then it is no longer a burden, but a material for growth. If you are going through a hard time, don't rush to ask, when will it end? Ask, what is it trying to tell me? Let pain become the soil from which something meaningful can grow. Like Frankl, we cannot choose the storm, but we can choose how to walk through the rain. I wish you will soon find your own thing in this life, and from that, find yourself. It's something only you can seek, because you are the one who knows yourself best, what you need, what you want. No one can do it for you. If this story made you think, share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for walking with me to the end of this journey. We will meet again on the next walks in this city that never sleeps, where every step leads us closer to who we truly are. Goodbye for now.